John 8:53. Numquid tu maior es patre nostro Abraham, qui mortus est, et prophetae mortuis sunt. Quem te ipsum facis? Are you really greater than our father Abraham, who died, and the prophets also died? Whom are you making yourself out to be? As we're drawing nearer and nearer to the climax of this debate about who Jesus is, whom he is making himself out to be, that really emerges as the key question that Jesus' interlocutors are arguing with him about. Who is he really claiming to be? They are trying to understand, and they're struggling against their own prejudice in many ways. So we begin with numquid, which is an indeclinable and untranslatable word. It simply indicates that what's coming is a question. And here's the first part of the question. Are you greater than our father Abraham? And we've got to recognize patre nostro Abraham as a phrase. Abraham is in the ablative case, though you may not have realized it. So is nostro, so is patre, which are more obviously in the ablative case. Abraham doesn't change because this is an indeclinable form of a loan word, of course, from Hebrew. And what we've got here is an ablative of comparison. And that's signaled by our comparative adjective here, maior, which is the comparative degree of the adjective magnus, great, greater, greatest. What's the superlative? Can you think of it? That's right, maximus. But here's our comparative form. Are you greater than our father? Now, there's another way that we could do this. If we use quam, we could say maior quam pater noster. But if we did that, as you can see, you'd have to put pater noster, our father, in the nominative case. And that's a requirement of using the quam comparative construction. But if we're not going to use quam, we can just use the ablative simply. We can save ourselves a word. It's very slightly more efficient. And we can do things this way. Are you greater than our father Abraham, who died? This is kind of the key idea here. And the prophets also died. Okay, so we're focused on death here. These people were not immortal in their time on earth. In other words, we saw mortuus est, and we talked about mortuis sunt in the case of the last verse. Both of these are forms of mori, to die, a deponent verb, so don't be confused by that. These are passive forms, but actually active meanings. And then finally, this question at the end is really the key issue, as we said. Whom are you making yourself out to be? And that is really the key question at issue, not only in this chapter, but in the whole Gospel of John.